The Sentinel Mindset.
What's up, everyone? Hope you're having a fantastic day today. The purpose of today's video is for those of you that are interested in being a protector. Now, a protector is our way internally of branding ourselves and what we do in our amazing country, Canada. But really what a protector is in Ontario is a security guard. Now, I hate the word security guard because it just sounds so simple, especially from the kind of high level work that we do. But we all fall underneath the bracket. To get your security guard license, you require a whole bunch of things. And that's what I'm going to be going over today. If you are looking at becoming a protector, AKA a security guard, you're going to need to know how to navigate around this. Now, what I can tell you is there's tons of companies. There's over 500 security companies in Canada, okay? And some of them are, I would say, unacceptably terrible. And then there's a lot of bad ones, like I'm telling a lot of them. And then there is some very small amounts that are good ones, okay? The good ones are going to be very hard for you to locate and hard for you to find. But really, at the end of the day, when you start applying, if you've never done security before, you're going to have to just navigate through these companies and try to find the best one that fits. For us as an example, as an organization, even though we do provide opportunities to people that never worked security before, we're actually looking for an X factor, a secret sauce. And we can go more into that into some of our other videos. But for now, the purpose of today is, how do you get your security license in Ontario? I'm going to go over everything right now. Okay, now, the one thing that you gotta just first of all understand, as I write this down here, is that you're gonna need to do the very base, and that is a security guard course. Now, the ministry has put together a course that is approximately 40 hours. This course can be done digitally online, or it can be done in person at some training facilities. This course is, like, again, the most simplistic 40 hours of basically an introduction into security. It's nothing that will help you on the job. This, I assure you, is just information based. Like, for example, if you're confirming a radio call, 10-4 as an example. What's your location? 10-20. What does a CTV camera do? Perimeter security. Again, things that are very base. They will not help you. They will not help you be good in security. It's just a fundamental foundation piece that you need. Now, this course can range anywhere between $100 to up to $200 that I've seen them. And this is something that you want to actually Google yourself to find it. We're going to provide a link of a service that does provide them. They are called, let's see here, Security Guard Course. And they charge $100 for this. And again, it's 40 hours. Now, once you complete this, okay, you're now going to have to go and do a test. Now, this test is put on by the ministry, and it costs $60 roughly. And in this test, what you're going to do is basically, based on the 40-hour course, it's going to ask you a bunch of questions. You need a 70% to pass. And then once you complete this, at that point, you're going to get a training number, okay? This is the training number that you're going to be adding with your application. But for now, the security guard course, and to actually do the test, right off the get-go, you're at about $160 here right now, okay? But just wait, there's a lot more here. You're also gonna need first aid. Now, there's different kinds of first aid. There's standard first aid, which is a 2-day course put on by companies like the Red Cross. Then there's the emergency first aid, CPR. This is usually 4 to 6 hours. This can range anywhere between $60 to $100, for example. It's a short session. It's the bare minimum requirements on how to do CPR first aid. And it's something that you will need to also demonstrate when you submit your entire package together to the ministry with your application. So again, out of the whole, $100 for the course, use $60 for the test, and about another, let's call it $60 for the actual first aid, emergency first aid. You're at a $220 mark here right now. But wait, there's more. Now, for many people in the security industry, you do not need this thing called the Smart Serve. If you're working in a commercial tower, if you're working concierge, if you're working in a industrial place, for example, you do not need Smart Serve. What Smart Serve is the ability to work around alcohol and how to look for intoxication, how to deal with that, best practices and all. And if you're going to work in any environment in the hospitality, events industry, and even special events, you're going to require a Smart Serve. The Smart Serve costs approximately $45. we will also provide a link here. And this is something that 100% I recommend everyone should just have this in general, because again, you don't want to be in a situation where you want to apply somewhere and then it's going to take you extra while. This actually takes you 2 hours online to do. Actually, I'm going to say 2 to 3 hours. And once you've done that, you get this digital card. And now you have the ability now to work in more industries within the security sector, okay? But you do not need it to get your license. It's just something after the fact. What you do need, again, is your 40 hours, the test that you got to do, and your emergency first aid, okay? But wait, there's more. See, as of February 18th in prior years, the ministry would take your application and they would do your background check for you. Not anymore. They will still take your $80, but they no longer will do your background check. So your background check must be completed by you. Now, you have two options here. You can either go to a police service and have them do a criminal background check. This takes approximately anywhere between 1 to 3 weeks. And there's a cost, I've heard as low as 20, up to about 50, 60 bucks. The problem here is this, that it takes a long time to get this done. So there's a service out there and they're called Triton. And I'm going to again put the link here. They're, from what I understand, the only entity that can, in association with the ministry, provide this service. It costs $55 and they will give you your background check in exactly 15 minutes or less. Okay. So I want to just hold this out there. The entire application process, it takes roughly about 3 to 4 weeks. That's with you having all your paperwork in order. Add another 3 weeks if you want to go directly to a police service, which means it could be almost 2 months before you actually get your license because of all these delays. And sometimes you just got to get that money and you got to get that job. You can't wait for these delays. So my advice to you is to go with a company like Triton. Only $55. We don't make a single penny from this. This is just letting you know what we give out as best practices to our people in our organization. Now, once you have the police background and you have the test pass from the ministry and you have your emergency first aid, you are then going to go to a Costco or to a Walmart or to a Shoppers, and you're going to get your passport photos. You're going to require 2 passport photos. This usually costs about 15 bucks, and you're going to take that with your application and you're going to throw in another $80, okay? And now you're going to submit your entire package to the ministry. You must complete every single thing that they're asking from you, guarantor signatures, your information. If you don't, they're going to reject it and you're going to start the process right from the beginning again, okay? So the one thing that you should be aware as a grand total here, you're looking at paying just about $425 roughly to get your security license. And then that again is with the test, that is with the emergency first aid CPR, that is with your smart serve, that is with your background check, and that is with the security application with your passport photos. Now you may be saying to yourself, oh my God, $425 to get my security license? Yeah, it is pretty high, especially when so many companies are advertising minimum wage, which is, again, laughable. In my humble opinion, nobody should be working for minimum wage. And on top of that, no company should be even in business if they're offering minimum wage for security, where you have to protect life and asset. So my whole thing is this: before you actually want to jump and work security, you need to understand, or first of all, have a very clear plan as to why you're doing it. Are you looking at doing it because you want to get into policing, to kind of grow into some other areas of the security sector? You actually want to grow in security management? If those are desires for you, then do it. If you're looking at it as just money on the side, the gamble that you take is that money that you're going to pay up front, that $425, you may not get that until at least, I'm going to say, about 3 or 4 shifts in with the provider that you work with, right? Again, for us, security is very different. It's about an experience. It's a passion for us to elevate the industry. So again, you may be looking like us and saying, man, I want to apply to Sentinel. Cool and all, but at the end of the day, again, what we're looking for is people with the X factor. And that's the difference between us and other organizations. Also, we look for a lot of people that are looking to get into policing because we're able to pour into them a lot of skills that they're going to require for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, I just wanted to summarize this. This process will take approximately 1 month, 3 weeks to a month from the minute you submit your application. The ministry is extremely slow right now with the amount of backlog that's happening. So if you truly want to see yourself work, my advice is get on it right away. I'll have all the links provided. Any questions, add them in the comment section. I will be sure to help you out. Stay safe, and I'm looking forward to seeing future protectors. Take care, everyone. Goodbye. Thank you for joining me in today's podcast. This podcast was created for protectors in the fields of law enforcement, executive protection, security, and anyone looking to level up their mindset. If you are learning from this podcast and you're enjoying it, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Sentinel Mindset. That's a zero-cost way to support us. In addition, please subscribe to the podcast both on Spotify and Apple. And on both Spotify and Apple, you can leave us up to a 5-star review. If you have questions for me or comments about the podcast or guests you would like me to consider on The Sentinel Mindset, please post all comments on YouTube. I do read all the comments. Please also check out our sponsors, thearenatoronto.com. The Arena was created to help all those in the fields of law enforcement, security, and all that achieve their fitness goals. I want to thank our producer, Matthew Doyle, and creative supports, Jaslene Singh, who help me with this podcast every week. We value your feedback and are here to support you. Tune into the Sentinel Mindset every week where we look in the mirror to make real changes and explore what it takes to achieve greatness in your craft.
This podcast is brought to you by Executive Protection Lifestyle Canada. Make sure to drop by next week and don't forget to subscribe.